All right, goalies, today we are going to be talking about screens. All right, one of the most dangerous ways that shooters score on a consistent basis comes from their ability to take away our eyes. We have to have a strategy so that we can not only maintain sight on puck, but also have a game plan for how we want to play different types of screens. So the first thing we're going to go over is just how to deal with a static screen and how we are going to game plan for it. So first and foremost, all right, when we're dealing with a static screen, okay, obviously the most important thing we're looking for is sight on the puck. When I start, I want to make sure that when I am standing behind any person that's trying to screen me, I want to make sure that my position based on where the puck is the same as if that screener wasn't there. So if this screener is standing in front of me at my peak, I don't want to be standing off to the side to try and gain sight of the puck. So that means if I'm standing facing center ice, all right, I want to make sure my body is standing in the right position and the head is trying to fight for sight, okay? We don't want to be in positions where we just accept a screen, meaning we're standing right behind it and we're just staring at their numbers. Once we establish sight on the puck, the next thing we're trying to do is we're trying to read the release. With my eyes on one side of the screen, I'm trying to determine, is that puck coming on the strong side of the screen? Is the puck coming through the screen, specifically their legs, or is the puck going to the other side and I have to fight through the screen to find the puck on the other side? Once I figure out which one of those three options, now what I have to do is I have to anticipate the timing and project the save towards the puck. So, easiest option is if that puck comes on the strong side. Well, we want to make sure when we make this save, all right, number one, we don't back up. Don't give that puck more room. Number two, we want to make sure when the puck is coming on this side, we're reacting forward, okay? And we are still aware that each side of the box we have to fill. So if you want to drop straight down, as long as you're filling that box on this side of the screen, you're in a good spot to make a save. What we don't want to do is we don't want to start reaching out to the side. Just like we would if this screener wasn't here, that opens up holes, okay? We want to try and project that hand, all right, or stick or body to the side of the screen to try and fill this space. If the puck is going through the screen, we want to make sure, right, the eyes are tracking down, right? Follow that puck from release all the way down so that when that puck does hit us, we're not surprised by it and then we're not chasing the rebound. If the puck goes to the other side, we have to determine, first and foremost, what third of the net do we think that puck is going? Is it lower third, middle third, or upper third? If that puck goes to the lower third, all right, maybe a little center shift, maybe a lateral release, maybe something to cover that bottom third. If that puck's coming to the middle third, we got to find a way to get that blocker through or glove through, depending upon what side it is. If it's in that top third, again, we want to project that hand up to the top third. When we get those reads on the release, that'll help us hold this position until the shot is actually released. What we don't want to do is guess. We have to look at that puck coming off the screen and decide before the puck gets to us where that puck is going. When we start dealing with screens that are not in the middle of the ice, as we start going lower down towards the goal line, we really have to start understanding where we are in the crease. So for example, if I'm standing between my peak and the 45 on the crease, I have to use those two locations to help me understand what I have to protect. The screen's going to take away something, whether it's the middle, the crossbody shot, or the strong side shot. But either way, that puck is not going to be able to go in if I fill the space between the peak and the 45. Too many goalies, when they see this shot come from one side of the screen to the other, they end up way out here. Too big of a movement. Understand that the limit here is the 45 and the peak. So when I see that shot and I drop down here, this is about as far as I'll ever have to go. So I don't need to do anything more than just understand where my limits are and where the screen is. If the screen is on the strong side, okay, and I'm looking on this side of the screen, he's going to take away some part of the net that puck has to go in. So if I identify that puck is going to that side, all right, and it's going to go through the screen, right, again, I have to shift that body to try and fill underneath and behind, all right? What we don't want to do is overplay this, all right, and then get caught if that puck gets blocked or if the puck goes through the screener. Same thing on the strong side. If I'm here and I'm fighting through that screen, that puck goes cross body, okay, to the strong side, I can't be ending up way out here, okay? I want to make sure I'm staying within my blue paint. I'm being patient, waiting for that release to come, identifying where that puck is going, and most importantly, anticipating and projecting the save towards the puck, all right? These are all based off of static situations. When I start moving into a static situation, that's where it gets a little bit more complicated, all right? So let's just say, screener right here. I'm on my post. I'm dealing with a pass out. So I have to move prior to the shot being taken, and I'm moving into a screen. So when I stand here and I follow that pass, I want to make sure, first and foremost, my eyes are looking at the puck. If I do not lose sight of the puck, there's no reason to change sides. So if I start, all right, and I can see the puck all the way out here on this side, I don't need to change my sight to the other side. You want to fight for sight once you lose track of the puck. Otherwise, you're doing more work than you have to, and the shooter is going to be able to see that. If they see me shifting to the other side, there's nothing that's going to stop them from putting it back the other way. Now I have to add an extra movement to come back to this side. All right? So when we're moving, the key is to be able to keep sight of puck the entire time. All right? If that means I see it on this side, so be it. Okay? If I lose sight of it on the movement, right, then I do have to shift my eyes to the other side. But the key is we're not shifting our sight line until we lose sight of the puck. If we are moving with the screen, okay, let's say this screener's moving with me, all right? If he is behind me, okay, I have to make sure that the eyes stay on this side of the screen, right? Moving with him, try and keep your eyes ahead of the screen, okay? If he is ahead of you, all right, try and keep your eyes behind the screen, okay? If he is directly in front of you, okay, and he's kind of moving right with you, pick a side. For me, it's going to be dependent upon the shooter. If the shooter is moving on his forehand, try and get your eyes ahead, all right? That shooter moving on his forehand, moving through those lateral angles a lot quicker than a shooter with the puck behind him. If that shooter's dragging the puck, try and look to the short side, right? So as that player moves, all right, I'm staying right behind that screen. The best part of how we are going to follow pucks while we're moving and dealing with screens comes from your confidence in your position. So I have to know where I am in order to have confidence in my sight line. So if I'm standing way out here and I know I'm not quite in position, I'm over pushing, I'm over moving, and I'm putting myself in a position where I'm probably not going to make the save. Position and box control are the two things that'll help you add to your ability to make a save through a screen. So what I mean by that, if I'm in a position where this player's moving and I'm moving towards center ice, that means the shooter has more to shoot at. I have to be ready to cover more ground, okay? So that means if I'm standing here, that player's moving with me, all right? As I move, shot comes to this side, blocker side. I have to find a way to fill this space, all right? Again, that's going to be up to you. Your style will help you figure out how you want to do it. But at the end of the day, if your position's off, your sight line is bad, okay? And more importantly, your balance is off, you're going to have a hard time making saves through screens. Last part of screens, goalies. What we're trying to focus on is really making sure you're fighting for sight. So a lot of the times when we have screens that are multi-layered, right? One guy right about here right? That's probably going to be a forward. One guy may be out by the shooter. That could be a winger covering the defenseman, okay, or a defenseman covering one of their forwards. What's going to happen when we have multi-layered screens? All right, again, the premise is still the same. Position is king, all right? I don't want to take myself out of position to give myself a better sight line. Second thing, I want to understand where I am in my crease and where my limits are. Third thing, I got to be fighting for shots, okay? I can't just sit here and accept the fact that a screen's going to happen. Next, I want to make sure I'm fighting through the screen properly. If the puck is above the tops of the circles, I want to be looking maybe a little bit higher, all right? If the puck is below the tops of the circles, I'm probably going to be looking a little bit lower. For you shorter goalies, find small holes, okay? It might be through an armpit. It might be by the hip, all right? But what we don't want to do is start high on one side and then take the longest path to fight to get to the other side of the screen. The idea with a multi-layer screen, okay, is that the puck still has to find its way through. So that means it's got to get through the shooter up top, through the first screen, maybe through a second screen. But the idea is the minute that puck is shot, the same premise applies. You still have to fight for sight, you still have to understand your position, and you still have to project and anticipate that save. So at the end of every screenshot, all right, if you find yourself sliding all over the place, you're probably doing more than you have to, all right? If you guys are getting sucked behind the screen and you have a situation where you're dropping back and then you're getting beat around your body, you're probably in a position where you're doing not enough. Lastly, when you have a screener that is constantly moving with you, all right, and taking away your sight line, it's probably going to be more than one fight. You're probably going from one side to the other to back. If you lose sight, it's your responsibility to fight, get to the other side, and reattach to the puck. That's all work ethic. That's all fighting. That's all giving yourself the best chance to make the save.